Today we're going to go on a deep dive into the world of stinging nettles, their uses in food and medicine. I'll also share with you a simple nettle soup recipe that I had a go at making recently. We're also going to go into how nettles are used in magic and dive into the world of witchcraft and folklore. Stinging nettles, scientifically classified as Urtica dioica, are a species of herbaceous perennials that are quite remarkable. They can tower up to 2 meters in height, making them a significant presence in the environments they inhabit. These plants have their roots in Europe, a large part of temperate Asia, and western North Africa, and their adaptability has allowed them to become naturalised across the United States. They flourish in areas with rich soil, moist woodlands, thickets, and disturbed patches of lands. You'll often find them along partially shaded trails and riversides. Their affinity for damp, fertile, and disturbed ground allows them to colonise areas enriched by human activities, such as agriculture and development, very effectively. What's particularly interesting about stinging nettles is their nutritional profile. The leaves, seeds, and roots are all edible and are a treasure trove of nutrients. They boast higher iron content than spinach and are also abundant in calcium and vitamins A and C. However, they demand respect when handled. The leaves are armed with hair-like structures that sting and cause itching, redness, and swelling. But once they are processed as a supplement, dried, boiled, or cooked, stinging nettles can be safely consumed. The medicinal use of nettles is a process that goes back thousands of years. They are known to alleviate inflammation, hay fever symptoms, and regulate blood pressure and blood sugar levels. They also exhibit antioxidant, antimicrobial, anti-ulcer, astringent, and analgesic properties. So, while their sting may be off-putting, their health benefits and nutritional value make them a plant worth exploring. So next time you come across a patch of stinging nettles, remember, there's more to them than meets the eye. They're not just a plant, they're a powerhouse of health benefits. These properties make nettles exceptionally helpful in managing acne, reducing dark spots and redness, helping fight skin infections, and even improving hair health. Nettles can improve your hair and skin without stinging them, as long as you prepare them properly. They have also been used for pain relief, oddly enough, as the leaves are known to have analgesic properties. Studies suggest that some people find relief from joint pain by applying nettle leaf topically to the painful area. Other studies show that taking an oral extract of stinging nettle, along with non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs such as ibuprofen, helps people reduce the medicated dose. Nettles have long been used in herbal medicine to cleanse the body of toxins. Their diuretic properties promote the elimination of waste through increased urine output, which can help detoxify the kidneys and liver. This cleansing action is believed to bolster the immune system, preparing it to better fight off infections and diseases. The plant's ability to enhance blood circulation further supports this, as it ensures that immune cells are efficiently distributed throughout the body. Stinging nettles can also support the health of people that menstruate during their menstrual cycle. Nettles can help ease heavy bleeding and replace the lost iron. They can help premenstrual acne and swellings and even ease those pesky period cravings by balancing blood sugar levels. Furthermore, studies have suggested that the anti-inflammatory properties of stinging nettle root may contribute to easing menstrual cramps. The plant's ability to modulate estrogen levels may also play a role in promoting regular and balanced menstrual cycles. During menopause, nettles may alleviate symptoms like hot flashes and mood swings. Their high calcium content also makes them an excellent herb for maintaining bone health, which is particularly important for postmenopausal people at risk of osteoporosis. In addition to these benefits, nettles are incredibly mineral-rich, making them a good option for a re-nourishing and depleted body. This is particularly important if your cycle is showing signs of imbalance, because this is often an indicator that your body needs more nutritional support. Nettles are a nutritious food source, rich in iron, calcium, vitamins, and minerals. When dried, they can be used to make a nourishing herbal tea. They also add flavour and nutrients to soups, and balanced nettles can be used to make a delicious pesto. Speaking of which, I decided to make my own version of nettle soup. After reading all about the wonderful benefits found in these little leaves, I just had to reap the benefits for myself. The land around me is absolutely covered in stinging nettles. From woodlands and fields all the way down to the estuary, there's certainly no shortage of these beauties. But thankfully, I didn't need to venture far at all, as there's actually plenty of nettles in my back garden. From my vegetable patch to growing out the side of my house, I managed to fill an entire cauldron full of nettles. A top tip I have for you, however, is to make sure to invest in some decent gardening gloves. Mine were only cheap and unfortunately resulted in me becoming absolutely covered in stings. This didn't deter me, however, and I managed to pick more than enough plants to make a delicious soup. The recipe I found included some extra ingredients to add to the soup to really enhance the flavours of the dish: onions, nutmeg, garlic and vegetable stock. I began by chopping my 2 onions and frying them in butter on a low heat. Adding a pinch of salt, I fried them for a good half hour or so to ensure they were lovely and soft and sweet. I then added some garlic powder because I didn't have any garlic cloves, nutmeg and flour to the mix before stirring again and frying for another couple of minutes. I decided not to add any milk to the recipe despite it being a requirement in the ingredients list. Not only because I didn't have any plant milk in my cupboard, but because I was just worried about the soup becoming too sweet and thick. I did, however, add a vegetable stock along with some hot water to the mix, as I didn't want it to become too thick and more like a pesto. I set my tasty onions aside and filled my cauldron full of water. The recipe stated that you only need to boil the plants for about 4 minutes to remove the stinging properties. But as I'm eating nettles for the very first time, I didn't quite trust this and boiled them for a good 15 minutes to ensure I wasn't greeted with any nasty surprises. I ensured to remove any larger leaves, woody stems and roots as the recipe suggested. I then placed the plants in a bowl of ice water to prevent them from cooking further, even though I was a little worried that I'd boiled them for too long by this point anyway. I chopped up the nettles into teeny tiny slices and then added them along with the onions and the stock to a blender. I realised that I should have instead used a liquidizer, as the soup did indeed resemble more of a pesto. I added some more hot water and stirred further, and it eventually began to resemble some sort of soup, and it tasted delicious. It was sweeter than I had liked, as I definitely added too much nutmeg and fried the onions for much longer than I'd hoped for. But I can definitely feel the benefits of this verdant soup full of nutrients and minerals. Nettles have been used beyond the kitchen too. They can be steeped to create a natural plant fertiliser. A tea made from nettle promotes healthy hair growth and can be used as a rinse. Infused water from nettles helps combat dandruff. Planting nettles near beehives can deter pests, and hanging dried nettles can help keep flies away. Historically, nettles have been used to make cloth, and strong cords can still be made from nettle fibres today. Nettle pulp can be used to create paper, and nettles can be used to dye fabrics. Livestock can consume dried nettles, and nettles can also speed up compost decomposition. Nettle creams may soothe joint discomfort and alleviate hemorrhoid symptoms. Nettle pulses can be applied to wounds. Nettle-based shampoos fight dandruff, and nettle-infused toners improve skin. Nettles blend well with other herbs, and boiled nettles can soften fabrics. Stinging nettles hold a significant place in mythology and folklore. In Norse mythology, they are associated with 2 deities: Thor, the god of thunder and farming, and Loki, the trickster god. Thor, known for his strength and protection of mankind, is often linked with nettles. The plant's resilience to harsh conditions and its protective stinging hairs may symbolise Thor's own toughness and his role as protector. Loki, on the other hand, is said to have crafted a magical fishing net made from nettles. This could symbolise the cunningness and resourcefulness of Loki, who often uses his wits and trickery to navigate complex situations. In addition to the association with the gods, nettles were believed to have protective properties. According to the Anglo-Saxon 9 herbs charm, recorded in the 10th century, nettles were used as protection against elf shot, mysterious pains in humans or livestock caused by the arrows of elven folk, and flying venom, which was believed to be one of the 4 primary causes of illness. In the fairy tale of the Wild Swans by Hans Christian Andersen, nettles play a crucial role. The heroine must gather nettles in the graveyard by night, spin their fibres into a prickly green yarn, and then knit the yarn into a coat for each of her swan brothers to break a spell. This tale highlights courage, persistence, and the transformative power of nettles. They also have a rich history in British folklore, with a variety of superstitions, uses and beliefs associated with them. According to British folklore, nettles picked on a Saturday were believed to lose their medicinal properties. Holding a nettle leaf in the mouth was thought to cure toothache, and they were also believed to break spells and curses, and were used in protective charms. In Scotland, carrying nettle in the pocket was believed to attract money and good fortune. In some parts of Europe, women believed that carrying a nettle would attract a lover. Brushing hair with a bunch of nettle was believed to make it grow faster and stronger. Nettle leaves were used in divination rituals to gain insight into the future. Nettle was also believed to have aphrodisiac properties and was used in love potions and spells. Farmers would use nettle to protect their livestock from evil spirits and to promote good health. In southern parts of County Cork, on May Eve, the 30th of April, was known as Nettlemas Night, when young men would parade the streets with large bunches of nettles, stinging their playmates. Similar customs were found in Devon and Cornwall, where May the 1st was known as Stinging Nettle Day. Nettle has been used as a food and drink ingredient in British cuisine for centuries, including nettle soup, nettle tea, and nettle beer. Thus, stinging nettles in British folklore are symbols of protection, luck, love, and transformation, and they have a wide range of uses in medicine, cuisine, and rituals. So, stinging nettles aren't just a hardy, pesky, painful plant, but have a rich history surrounded in tales and folklore, and have many beneficial properties once you get past their sting.